why I have a dish. That's why I have a washer.
You're going to have to stay in the lock in. Overnighting and marrying out. Okay.
Everybody ready?
You guys ready?
So I think I'm just going to probably make some general comments. Then let Councilmember, I'm going to have Kelly and then you're. Oh, and then you guys have to turn things over to you. But yeah, you can talk about the warming centers and anything 88
as of 20 minutes ago, so operating low 90s.
okay.
I passed them on the way here.
Yeah, yeah, we
I
saw
didn't
you out there.
have
Thank you. Come on in, guys.
All right.
We get closer to keep us warm.
All right, we're ready when are you guys ready?
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us here, and really excited to share a little bit about our game plan and how we're dealing with another snow event that's going to be even different than the last one. Everyone is different, and we've got some very, very cold temperatures that'll be following what we're anticipating 3 to 5, 4 to 6 inches of snow here in the next 24 hours or so, and just asking people to do their part. We're all in this together, and everybody has a role to play in keeping us safe. You know, not crowding the plow, letting our drivers get out there, looking out for your neighbors, particularly with snowfall and these extreme temperatures coming. We're lucky to have Shannon Isom with the Community Shelter Board here. She's going to share information. I know many of you guys covered our visit to the warming center earlier this week. Council has invested another $2 million into warming centers in each part of town. The last place we want our neighbors to be is outside tomorrow and during this storm and extreme temperatures. So really encouraging people to take advantage of these places and let us take care of you during this difficult time and storm. So as of 20 minutes ago, 88 trucks out working in neighborhoods throughout the city. And for more details on how we're responding, I'll step away and introduce our Director of Public Service, Kelly Scocco. Kelly?
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. Particularly thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councilmember Barroso Padilla, for coming out today. So we are ready to tackle this storm at Public Service for the city. Full call out. We have a full call out today. What does that mean? That means that we have, as the Mayor said, over 88 trucks as of right now on the roadway out clearing the snow as it's falling. We also have that means that we have all of our public service staff, we have auxiliary staff from other city departments, and we have our contractors that are from private companies that are out there on the streets working hard to get the snow up off the ground. Trucks will vary through the storm. Cold weather is really hard on vehicles and equipment, so sometimes trucks go down. We will also, shift changes will change those numbers as well, but the trucks numbers will vary, but we are throwing everything we have at this storm right now. Some of our key challenges, it's going to get cold, really cold. So what does that mean? A drop in temperatures means a drop in effectiveness. At 30 degrees, 1 pound of salt will melt about 46 pounds of ice. At 20 degrees, 1 pound of salt will melt about 9 pounds of ice. And when that temperature drops into the single digits, about 1 pound of salt will only melt about 4 pounds of ice. So we go from right now at 30 degrees, 1 pound of salt will melt 46 pounds of ice, down to single digits, 1 pound will melt 4 pounds of ice. So that salt becomes really ineffective. That means that we're using other materials, including calcium chloride solution, some beet juice that have sugar products in there to really get in there and melt some of that ice as it gets extremely cold. We will also have wind, so expect wind to be blowing hard and blowing snow that we cleared already off the roads to cover those roads back up, so we'll have to go back over the roads multiple times in order to get the snow and ice up. And our safety message, as always, we ask that everyone have patience with our snow warriors. They are working around the clock. They're working really hard out there. These are people, these are human beings that are working and trying their hardest to get the snow and ice and making our roadways as safe as they possibly can. So please do not plow, or please do not crowd them as they're trying to do their work. And at this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Shannon Isom with the Community Shelter Board. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. I want to just first echo what our mayor said and thank him as well as the city council in Franklin County for being good partners within this. We center our community members who are moving through any level of destabilization of housing as well as those that are on the land. We ask for your partnership in a couple of different ways. First, if you are curious, have questions about where the resources are across this entire county, especially concentrated in the city, please go to communityshelterboard.org. We have an exhaustive list of resources, 24-hour walk-ins, very specific to our elderly, to our youth, as well as transportation. We update that consistently. We are consistently organizing ourselves around those resources and ensuring that if we do get any calls and there's gaps within that coverage, that we are responding to that. One thing that we know every year is that winter is coming. And the other thing that we know is it gets cold in Ohio. And so we are ready. And we are encouraging not only our overall county footprint, but the city footprint, is that we have 24-hour resources that are functioning and responding to you. As a really quick call out, First English Lutheran Church is open, are able to triage, 24-hour care. There is never a time that they're not open. Star House, specifically for our youth, have special hours for 10 p.m. to 2 p.m. the next day to ensure that our youth will not also be in lack of resources. And so please give Community Shelter Board either a call or an email if there's anything missing. But we would like to say and hold strong with the mayor and the city as well as the county to say that we're ready for this. And if there's anyone that is out or left out of resources, to please let us know. Thank you. I'll turn it over to our councilwoman.
Thank you, Shannon. We got to quit meeting like this, y'all. I just want to give a couple of safety messages. First of all, I want to thank the Community Shelter Board and the plethora of organizations, church, community-based groups that are coming together to ensure that our most vulnerable folks have a warm place to be, especially as the temperatures continue to drop. Couple reminders, our good friends at CODA, now if there's level 2 an emergency and up, CODA is free. That's not just for the mainstream buses, but also CODA Plus, which is the on-demand service, especially for folks who might have mobility issues or seniors who tend to use that. If you need to get meds or other things, that will be running, and it will be running for free. So if folks need to get out, that's probably the safest way if you need to take care of some things between today and tomorrow. The other thing is that, just a reminder, be a good neighbor. Check in on your senior residents that may live in your neighborhood. Check in on folks that might have mobility issues, or if folks are having other challenges, making sure that they're safe, making sure that they have the things that they need so they don't have to venture outside. Also, sidewalks are the responsibility of all of us, so making sure that this is a good time now to pre-treat that if you have some salt at home or want to run out and get some, so that you can make it easier for tomorrow as the temperatures continue to drop. Please be patient. If you are, especially folks, if you're heading to church tomorrow, give yourself enough time that you can be on the road safely so that you're not rushing, because that's when we tend to see accidents happening. Our snow warriors are doing an amazing job. They're working around the clock. Just another reminder to not crowd the plow, because that's when accidents happen. Let's make this one a super safe season, or super safe storm, by not crowding those plows and taking our time. So I think that's the majority of my messages. I just hope that folks just take care of each other, take your time if you're heading out, and if you don't, this is a cozy weekend before the holidays, before the holiday rush, to stay home and drink some hot cocoa and watch some good movies. So with that, I'm handing it over to, yes? To our head snow warriors.
Good afternoon. I would first like to thank everyone for joining me here and all the support that we as Snow Warriors get as we do this critical service. I'm going to wait a second here if that's all right. Good. All right. So again, as others have mentioned, again, I really want to start and focus on some of those safety messages. Again, these are very, very large vehicles. They don't turn quickly, they don't stop slowly. So please, please, please give them extra space, especially throughout the afternoon and evening, as we do expect road conditions to deteriorate and become slick. So again, please give those hardworking men and women the extra space. Again, check on your neighbors, especially as we get colder temps and that wind tomorrow. As mentioned, we are concerned about the drop in temperatures tomorrow and that wind. We are concerned that we will have a lot of roads blowing back over after we've already cleared them. We are scheduled to be working around the clock until we have completed all of our service. As mentioned, this is a full call out for us, so we currently have 88 trucks on the road. That number should remain relatively consistent, maybe go up a little bit as we get into the evening hours. And then once we get into the late morning, there'll have a slight drop off, but we are going to continue to utilize a full call out. We really need to thank all of our friends and partners in building and zoning, code enforcement, rec and parks, other departments from public service, including traffic and refuse, design and construction. These are folks whose day job has nothing to do with snow and ice, and they're giving up their weekends to serve our community. So a huge thank you to those folks for coming out and helping us. We have a full supply of salt. We have the other materials, as Director Scocco mentioned, and we're prepared to throw everything we have with this storm over the next 24 to 48 hours and then continue on until we're done. I'm not passing it to anybody else.
Can we kind of do it in the way that the order that you guys came for us to ask questions? Would that work?
Sure.
Okay. Perfect. And you mentioned you have all hands on deck when it comes to this, but that community members have to play their part too. What difference does that make to have those people in the communities who are at home right now? Okay. What role do community members play in this?
Well, we're all snow warriors. We're all part of Team Columbus. And so we need people out shoveling those, sidewalks, making sure they're clear. As the council member said, it's property owner's responsibility. And we're going to have a lot of work to do today, tomorrow, to make sure we're going to do everything in our part to make sure that kiddos are in school on Monday and that folks are able to get to work and do the things they need to do. But that means everybody's got to step up and do a little bit more. So just asking folks to do their part. As the council member said, check in on your neighbor. Kids out there, it wouldn't hurt you if you went out and maybe shoveled some sidewalks and driveways for our seniors, right? Do your part and give back, especially during this special holiday season.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, anything for me?
I think you mentioned, was it the 88 trucks that were out there, or would you want to weigh on that a little bit more?
I can comment on that.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Switching out of order.
You want to go now or?
Yeah.
I really want to.
I'm going to ask you to repeat your question if you don't mind.
No, you're fine. You mentioned that the 88 trucks are out there now. When I was driving through my neighborhood, I already saw the roads were being treated last night. So when did you guys start working?
So for an event like this, it's going to be all snow. We will pre-treat based on the specific conditions. Keep in mind, I think it was Wednesday night, we had some snow that we were out treating the roads then, and so there's a lot of that residual salt material on the road. So we did spend some time yesterday touching up a few areas that needed a little bit more pre-treatment, particularly some of the bridges and overpasses, those sharp curves and steep inclines. But there was a sufficient amount of residual material on the road from earlier in the week that we didn't have to do a ton of pre-treating. We did spend quite a bit of time yesterday getting any last-minute major potholes, and then obviously making sure that all of our trucks and equipment were ready to go.
And from the anything you guys learned that you guys are going to be implementing this time around?
A few little internal things. That's a great question. We do actually perform an after-action review after every event with our internal team just to kind of touch base. There's some internal practices that we do, particularly at shift change, that we want to address and just make sure that, hey, are these efficient as possible? Can we cut some things out, but then do we lose relevant information? And so how do we thread that needle, so to speak, in terms of being quick and efficient and making sure that we keep the trucks on the road where they need to be, but that we're collecting all the information that we need to make good decisions about our response as well.
And how do you handle just a steep drop in temperature overnight?
As the director mentioned, we're going to be switching materials here as the temperature continues to drop. That salt really does begin to lose its effectiveness, particularly once you start to drop below 20. So we will supplement our rock salt with some liquid calcium as well as some liquid beet juice, beet molasses, some beet-based products, and we'll use those in combination to really kind of address. They do work. They are not as rapid or as effective as salt at the warmer temperatures. So again, another reason we're going to ask residents and the community for patience. We do, again, anticipate conditions to be deteriorating throughout the afternoon and evening. And again, with that wind coming in tomorrow, you could be driving on a road that's perfectly clear, and then if you get to a part of that road that isn't protected by trees or buildings, it could suddenly have some real slick spots. So we are going to need to ask people to continue to exercise caution through the weekend until this wind moves out and we can really start to kind of do a cleanup work, do our cleanup passes, and not have to worry about it being blown over again.
We already seen some, I don't know about the city of Columbus, but we've seen ODOT crews get hit by people who are driving on the road who are too close. Can you really reiterate how important it is to give you guys space when you're out working?
Again, these are very large vehicles. They don't maneuver well at all. They are very dangerous, especially if you're in front of one of them. So again, please give extra space. Don't crowd the plow. We do anticipate later today when we having to actually drop our plows and push the snow off the road. When we do that, we will likely team up. Do not cut between them. Don't go around them. Just stay back and give yourself the extra space. That is one of the most dangerous things you can do, is trying to cut in between our trucks when they're working in a group or in tandem to push the snow off the road. That is incredibly dangerous for everyone involved, especially someone in a smaller vehicle than our trucks. Please, please, please do not do that. Give yourself the extra 5 minutes. It's much better to arrive 5 minutes late and arrive alive than to not make it because you were trying to be too aggressive and squeeze between those trucks.
Community shelter. Thank you. So I know the shelters, we've had the drop in temperatures where it got really cold, where some people needed to find housing in. Were you guys able to get numbers from that day of how many people were housed across the community shelter board?
If last year, I know we look at our numbers really at the end of the year and do exactly kind of what Scott said and make sure that every year that we're learning and also refining that this isn't really about people just being warm, but instead about a community effort to get people housed and make sure that they're stabilized from housing. What we know from the numbers last year when we had 2 very cold streaks is that we were able to take care of close to about 400 people.
Everyone's trying to get the light in.
May you be going someplace warm.
May you. Amen.
Okay.
To take care of about 400 people that were truly vulnerable to the very, very cold temperatures, and we were able to respond very, very quickly over a 2-week time period within the entire time in which we do warming centers from December 15th all the way to the end of March, March 31st. We ended up housing 58 people out of that, and those were people that would, if not for those efforts, be on the land and would not present in our shelter. We also had about 40% of those folks that we had never even seen before, so we do know that we are targeting the right tool, especially during a time where people are encouraged to come in. We do know that we have the right tool, the right resource for the people that really need some additional help.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Can we give you all one other resource just to make sure that you post it? It's just warriorwatch.columbus.com, right? Com or .gov.com. That's where folks. Sorry. So folks.
Start over. You said
.gov it is gov.
things
Yeah.
for people to know. So what's the website again?
So for folks to check, we get questions all the time, or folks might not see a plow when you don't think that a plow has hit your neighborhood, or, because they're working 24 hours, it may be why you're asleep, right? But folks can check to see if a plow has come in your neighborhood. They can check it's a live map of where we have already treated roads and where we are coming, and if they're coming through a second pass or a third pass. And so that is warriorwatch.columbus.gov. And then you can check that live. Just a reminder, we never go straight to the street. We're essentially, and I'm going to talk some not technical that snow to make it easier for you to ride over it, right? And the street is treated. So you're not going to see clear roads. That's never what we're going to do. We have roads from here to California, and so we couldn't possibly treat them in that manner, especially with the temperatures.
You're throwing
am I
me a
doing a great
softball.
job?
I'm just waiting for my chance to step in.
Please, step in. Anything else?
So the council member's absolutely right. These are snow plows, they are not squeegees, right? So particularly in those neighborhood roads, after they have had traffic on them, we will clear off the loose material, we will be salting our priority 2 roadways, but it is not going to be bare pavement on every single road, again, especially on those priority 3 streets. As mentioned, we have responsibility for over 4,600 miles, which is the equivalent of Los Angeles and back, and then another couple hundred miles to go. Just our priority 2 and priority 3 streets are over 3,100 miles. It's not, that is more than driving to sunny, beautiful Key West and back, right? I'd love to have some of that weather right now too, right? Wouldn't we all? So again, we are out there with our auxiliary staff. That is largely what that group is doing, is helping us service those roads. 3,100 miles is an awful lot. So we are out there. We will get to your road. Again, it's a guarantee that they will not all be bare pavement. We will be there. We will get it cleaned off as best we can. But again, the more traffic that's on it, the more it gets compacted down and turned into ice. And again, these are plows. They're great at removing loose snow. They are not squeegees. They're not scraping. Just like if you were to shovel your driveway after you've driven on it a few times, you're going to see those tire tracks from where your car has been. It's really hard to get that up. Multiply that by 100 or 200 or 500 vehicles that have been on that road by the time we can get there.
And you have priority roads too, right?
We do. We have 3 levels of priority. Our priority 1 roads are our arterial roadways. City of Columbus is responsible for 315 and 104, all of the interstates, 270, 70, 71, et cetera. Those are ODOT. Our other priority roadways, think Broad, High, Front, Nationwide, Polaris, Sawmill, Morris, State Route 104, those big major roadways. And then our priority 2 roadways, those are the roads that feed into larger neighborhoods and residential areas. And then priority 3 are the very local roads, cul-de-sacs, dead ends, things like that. So again, once we hit 4 inches, we will service every street, including all of the P3s. But again, as you can imagine, 4,600 miles at 10 miles an hour, when it's still snowing, it's blowing back over, it's going to be a day before we're really starting to get ahead of the storm with these tough conditions, cold weather and wind.
How do you feel now, though? I mean, the snow started. It seems like we haven't heard anything bad.
Yeah, I mean, here we are, hour 1, right? So it's another 50 or 60 hours. I'll be good, getting a nap. No, so far so good. Pavement temps are still relatively warm, so that's helping. That salt is still actually quite effective right now. The heaviest snow is supposed to be moving in later this afternoon and evening. So we do expect conditions to deteriorate Saturday evening. So if someone is headed out for a Saturday evening event or dinner or a holiday party, please, please, please give yourself extra time and be cautious. We do anticipate the roads getting worse before they get better. And again, we're going to continue to hit it with everything we have, our auxiliary staff, our contractors. And so we're going to fight through this and work all night. And hopefully by tomorrow, we're going to be in pretty good shape, except for the cold weather and the wind.
How much of it being the weekend helps you in this situation?
I do, again, a huge shout out to all the folks in our auxiliary pool. Yesterday I spent the day scheduling over 50 volunteers at some point throughout the day. So that's over 50 Columbus staff members, again, from those other departments that are giving up some, or in some cases, both days of their weekend. We have some of them coming in to work the overnight shift tonight, just to help us out, to help, again, serve our community. And it's a massive win because they're not busy doing their regular jobs that, again, they still have to be done. We still have to pick up the trash throughout the week. So the fact that it's on a weekend does really help us collect a lot of those folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, if you want to do one-on-one or.
Feel good.
Thank you so much.